Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Friends, this is the best time to plan a visit to the Northeast. The weather remains pleasant during this time, and many festivals are held in different states of the region. One such festival is the Cherry Blossom Festival in Shillong, which draws crowds from all over the country every year. Beautiful cherry blossom trees color the horizon pink and are a major tourist attraction. Another internationally famous festival is the Hornbill Festival of Nagaland, which is also celebrated during this time. Today we will talk about these and more. During the COVID-19 pandemic, a large number of migrant workers have lost their jobs, and they have had to return to their hometowns, leaving the jobs. To address this crisis, the Mizoram state government has embarked upon a comprehensive livelihood generation scheme for the returnee migrant workers. More from our Aizawl correspondent.
The COVID pandemic has compelled over 2,600 people of Mizoram who were working at various occupations in other states to back home. When this happened last year, the state government promptly adopted a livelihood project for the returnee workers. The project, named as the Livelihood Generation for Returned Migrant Workers, has recently started providing skill training to the migrant workers on different trades and entrepreneurship phase by phase. Talking to AIR News, the Secretary of Mizoram Youth Commission, Donilar Watsanga, said that in the first phase of the project, the Northeastern Council NEC has funded 3.3 crore rupees and over 2.7 crore rupees for the second phase of the livelihood project. He further said that the livelihood generation program is being conducted in all 11 districts of the state.
For the first phase of this training, all the important trainings through different departments have been fruitfully conducted as of now. And for the second phase of this training, NEC has sanctioned 276 lakhs for like missionary training, piggery training, food processing training and cake baking training. All the programs under the second phase will be implemented through each deputy commissioners in coordination with some state departments as well as professional private agencies. As of now, for the second phase of this migrant workers training, some districts like Siaha, Champhai, Saitwal started conducting the training, and within a short period of time, hopefully this training will be completed within these three districts, and the other districts, they are ready to conduct the training within this current financial year.
Under the project, training programs are being imparted on internship cum entrepreneurship skill, food processing, tour guides, mystery training, piggery and bakery entrepreneurship. For Northeast Diary, this is Irene from Aizawl.
Nagaland, the land of festivals, is gearing up for its most renowned international event, the Hornbill Festival, Festival of Festivals, a Naga cultural spectacle held every year in Nagaland to the first week of December. Telling us more about this musical and cultural extravaganza is a Kohima correspondent, Asunio.
After a gap of 1 year, Nagaland is all set to celebrate the 22nd edition of the Hornbill Festival at the Naga Heritage Village, Kisama, at 12 km away from Kohima, starting from December 1, coinciding with the Statehood Day and culminating on 10th of December. The event was not held last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This international recognized festival is organized by the State Tourism and Arts and Culture Department, Government of Nagaland. Annually, the Festa is celebrated to encourage intertribal harmony and promote colorful local culture and tradition in the state. Here are some more glimpses of the past celebrations of the Hornbill Festival. Have a listen.
बेशी भाला से. There are so many tourists here from other parts of the India and the foreign countries. This is the best destination for the tourists. Kokana, Lim.
I'm I'm from Odisha. I have come to this Hornbill Festival with a group of 8 Americans. We are staying in Kohima and it's amazing. It's really beautiful and it's really giving us all the information about all the different colorful tribes of Nagaland.
My name is Sulabh Mahajan. I'm from the Air Force with a group of friends of 5 people. We're having a wonderful time here. The best part is that the festival is organized so well that we are enjoying ourselves, and it feels that the whole Northeast heritage and culture is at a glance for us, and the food stalls put up here are wonderful and people are so generous that we are really in love with this place, and I think Kohima rocks.
This year, the festival will be in full consonant with COVID-19 appropriate behaviors. Tourists and visitors who need to get a glimpse of this extravaganza festival will have to get themselves fully vaccinated with COVID-19 vaccine. The 10-day festival will witness the rich and diverse culture of the Nagas, vibrant display in the form of folk, music and dance, food, crafts and art, and many more. This is Asanyo for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Kohima.
The India International Cherry Blossom Festival, celebrated from the 25th of November to the 27th of November, attracts a record number of tourists in Shillong. More from a correspondent in Shillong.
Meghalaya's capital city Shillong and its adjoining areas have turned pink, with the cherry blossoms in full bloom. Also known as Prunus carasoides, the cherry blossoms are considered a gift from the Himalayas. They usually grow across the eastern and western range of the Khasi Hills. This year, the Cherry Blossom Festival will have a number of activities including singing, fashion shows, live music, and a plethora of other activities like dance competitions, pageants. Several stalls catered to represent their region through the cuisine, arts and crafts, etc. during the 3-day event. A large number of tourists from different parts of the country are already here in the city to witness this amazing festival of cherry blossoms. Prem Kumar, a tourist from Kolkata who is on his maiden visit to Shillong, said,
"This is the first time I'm here at Shillong for the Cherry Blossom Festival, and I'm actually very excited to be here to witness this amazing festival. So it's actually better to be here instead of going to other countries like Japan for this festival, and I'm actually looking forward for other activities of the festival, and it's actually very amazing to be here, and I would actually request the whole world to visit this amazing place."
Just a few years since its conceptualization, the Cherry Blossom Festival has become a hit in Shillong, drawing a large footfall of visitors every year. However, in 2020, the festival was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is Rustam for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Shillong.
The Buddhist Gompa, situated in the heart of the Itanagar city in Arunachal Pradesh, is one of the tourist hotspots of the capital city. Today, we will take a tour of this Gompa and learn about it in detail from our Itanagar correspondent, Rakesh Dole.
The Mahayana Buddhist Gompa in Itanagar is also a center of Buddhist culture. It is located on the top of a hill just above the State Museum in the capital city of Arunachal Pradesh. Though it is situated in the heart of the city, this Gompa is one of the most peaceful places, seems secluded from the busy hustle and bustle of the ever-growing urban jungle. Adorned with a beautiful gate at the base of the hill, a road spiral up the hills to the Gompa. The Gompa sits on the top of the hill literally. Small but colorful gate marks the entrance. A white stupa with golden carvings stood just outside the main Gompa and against the backdrop of green rolling hills. Inside the Gompa, there are pieces of arts and decorations, including sculptures and rainbow-colored murals. The artworks portray the imaginations and belief of Buddhism, with mythical beings, symbolisms and deities. In the backside of the Gompa, there's a malnourished statue of Lord Buddha beneath a peepal tree. The statue depicts Lord Buddha's early days, when in pursuit of enlightenment, he sat under a Bodhi tree and starved himself, causing severe malnourishment and physical hardship. The 14th Dalai Lama himself consecrated this Buddhist temple, which sits in a peaceful spot surrounded by mighty hills all around. Up from the hill, one can get a 360-degree view of the most part of Itanagar city. Apart from tourists, many local people come here to worship and connect with the Buddha and his teachings. Many non-Buddhist local people come here to spend some moments of peace in the silence and serene environments of the Gompa. For Northeast Diary, this is Rakesh Dole, AIR News, Itanagar.
In Tripura, in a unique initiative of the state government, the state education department has come up with a new scheme, Mother on Campus, in which biological or legally authenticated mothers are enabled to stay with their children residing in the state-run hostels and boarding schools. Our Agartala correspondent Reena has filed a report on this.
Speaking to AIR Notice Diary on the matter, Tripura Education Minister Ratanlal Nath said that the scheme has been undertaken to ensure a clean atmosphere in the hostels, which is necessary for the academic advancement of the children. He said at present there are 2,004 hostels in the state under departments like Tribal Welfare, SC Welfare and Minority Welfare departments. As per the scheme, 2 mothers can stay for a week in the hostels at a time, the minister said.
The Mother on Campus concept has been initiated to ensure homely, safe and clean atmosphere in the hostel, which is necessary for the overall development and academic advancement of the children who are living in the hostel. The idea is that the presence of the mother will give a sense of security to not only the child whose mother is staying on the campus, but to all other children, and will increase the parental involvement in the running of the hostel. It will also give better feedback to the hostel superintendent. We are thinking in this line, and there are no specific duties for the mother except to spend some time with children and to give her feedback to the hostel in charge and the school principal about cleanliness, food, discipline, etc.
He also informed that the scheme is only for the legally authenticated or biological mothers. No other guardians can access the benefits of the scheme, and the mothers who are supposed to stay for a week have been given the liberty to shorten their stay, but an extension is not allowed. For Notice Diary, this is Reena Nomaitem from Agartala.
The Paddy Harvest or Zotium festival was recently celebrated at North Sikkim's Lingtam village in the Zongu Lepcha Reserve region. Organized for the first time, the festival showcased various facets of the Lepcha lifestyle besides promoting tourism in Zongu. More on this from a Sikkim correspondent.
The first Jotim or Paddy Harvest Festival in Zongu's Lingtam celebrated crop harvest and the Lepcha way of life, making the otherwise restricted Assis village a hot spot for visitors both from Sikkim and outside. Focused on promoting sustainable homestay-based tourism in Zongu, the festival showcased step of paddy harvest, local cuisine, folk dances and music, and the region's organic lifestyle. A key performance at the festival was a 12-step dance to separate rice from paddy. Local historian and folk artist Anam Namgel speak about the festival.
ये एक्चुअली जोतियम है हमारा ट्रेडिशनल जूम कल्टीवेशन का जो एक हार्वेस्ट होता था, तो वो हार्वेस्ट में पैडी को हार्वेस्ट करके और जितना भी विलेज वाले लोग आके इसको थ्रेशिंग के जब करता था, उसको हम लोग जोतियम प्रोग्राम में दिखा के और धीरे धीरे इसे टूरिज्म डेवलपमेंट के लिए ये किया है. जितना भी जो हो रहा है ये इस बार एकदम पहली बार है.
A local homestay owner and the Jotim Festival Organizing Committee member Vinona Lepcha highlight the objectives.
This festival is, we are really focusing on the tourism base because it's like, we've started this festival because of the pandemic. We thought of doing this to attract the tourism, and especially in Zongu. Zongu is a restricted area and a protected land of Lepcha community. It's all about the paddy harvest. So we have got actually different steps to do the paddy harvest. So we are focusing on that. Actually we are promoting organic also and the homestays here.
Another key feature of the festival was zero waste, wherein no plastic and packaged food were allowed at the venue. With the Homestay Association of Sikkim supporting the event and plans to make it an annual affair, Jotim Festival is expected to boost sustainable tourism in Zongu. With Saikat Sarkar, this is Diliram Dulal for Northeast Diary from AIR News Sikkim.
Today we bring to you an interview with Ashwini Kumar, Divisional Forest Officer of Assam State Zoo cum Botanical Garden. The interview is by a Guwahati correspondent, Manas Pratim Sharma.
Ashwini ji, welcome to this episode of Northeast Diary.
Thank you, Manas ji. Thank you for calling me for this interaction.
It's our pleasure. Let's discuss how is the excitement now you have seen after reopening the state zoo.
after a long time they have a space to go out, to chill out with their family and friends. As per the number of people who are coming here, they are good. More than 1,500 per day footfall is there. I'm seeing them enjoying their day thoroughly in the zoo.
So what are the things to see at the Assam State Zoo right now?
We have giraffe, the hollow gibbon, thumb-tailed macaque, number of species of birds, an open aviary, walk-through aviary. So these are the major attractions right now. But yes, the rhinoceros of our zoo is famous, and the location where it is enclosed, that is also good. It is in a natural setting along with the spotted deer. So the people really relish it, just like it seems that they are in wild. Apart from that, you can see the ostrich, mouse deer, and pygmy hog also, which is the only, the Assam State Zoo is the only zoo here which have the pygmy hog as its inhabitant.
And this Assam State Zoo, which is being situated at Guwahati, which is also known as the gateway of Northeast, how this zoo is different from the other zoos in the country?
First, I have to tell you that it is one among the 14 large zoos of our country, and the only large zoo in the Northeast India. Large zoo based on the various criteria as the number of species you are keeping and the number of footfall of the visitors. So we have more than 10 lakh visitors per year. As compared to the other zoos of India, if we compare, then the setting of this zoo, the natural landscape, the undulating landscape, it is very unique. And moreover, you can say it is more green as compared to any other zoo. The reason behind it was that it was part of that reserve forest which is having a great biodiversity in it. So that's why we say it is not only the Assam State Zoo, it is Assam State Zoo from Botanical Garden. We also have a lot of species of orchids which you don't find in other zoos. So it is a single setting which is having Botanical Garden and zoo in a single setting, you can say. At the same time, people came here to see the different animals along with the different flora. So this is the keystone of this zoo.
And since at the initial remark you have mentioned that daily around 1,500 people are visiting the zoo. So what instruction has been issued from your end to the concerned person or the department, in maintaining COVID protocol?
As COVID is not over yet, so we have to maintain the COVID protocol accordingly. First thing is that we have limited the number of the visitors inside the zoo. Means 100,500 is fine, but on the weekends, on the holidays, there are a lot of people who wants to come to the zoo. But because of the COVID protocol, we don't allow them. We have barred our zoo at maximum 2,000 visitors per day. So first thing is this. Second is we don't allow the people who are not vaccinated, not double vaccinated, or without the mask. So we try to maintain the social distancing there. People should wear the mask during whole of their time up inside the zoo, and we assure also that these people are double vaccinated. And this mandatory guideline is also issued in the ticket also. It is printed in the ticket also that these things are necessary if you want to enjoy the zoo, because it is the tough COVID time.
And we have learned that there is a cycling track, within the zoo premise. So how far it is functioning? What is the response to it? Could you please tell us?
Right now we have not started that cycling track because of this COVID only. Because if you are on the cycle, you exert, and that lead to with mask, it is difficult to move on the cycle because it is having an undulating terrain, not the plain terrain. So we have not started the cycling track yet.
So we hope once the situation will be improved, that can be restarted again. And as you have mentioned, there are certain animals, that we can see here, can have a glimpse over here. So what are your new initiatives? What is your planning in upcoming days?
Let's keep it a surprise for the people. That's what we are trying to bring in. But definitely, it will be a good surprise. Most probably by the end of December or in the first week of the January, we will have some new additions.
Since you have worked in various places of Assam, what do you think, apart from the state zoo, what are the other natural places, flora and fauna in and around Guwahati, where a visitor can go?
For this, you can say that Pavitra Wildlife Sanctuary is there, and now it is winter, so migratory birds are coming in the Deepaville and in Pavitra. So these are the excellent places to go out. Other than this, they can go for some trekking routes in the Kaziranga area. Last year, a few new tracks has been opened for the public for trekking purpose. Kaziranga is not that much far from Guwahati, you can say, and Pavitra is really nearby, which is having the natural landscape as Kaziranga and having the more density diversity of rhinos there. The wild buffaloes are there, migratory birds in this season. They can relish the nature in true sense in these areas.
What are the most, exciting things inside the Assam State Zoo, Botanical Garden and Guwahati? Being the head of this organization, institution, what is your feeling? What are the things that, one person can like to see over here?
First thing, I'm very much obliged to head this prestigious institution for time. My priority areas here is the well-being of the animals. First means the feeding we are giving them, the regular health checkup is my priority areas. Secondly, the cleanliness inside the zoo. As the zoo has been declared as a no plastic zone, so we don't allow any plastic pollution inside the zoo. So these are the first areas. If we were able to maintain it, then I'll say, I'm doing good for this institution.
And how your staff are onto the job of late? Since the COVID situation improved, you must have a tough time to maintain things during the COVID situation. But since now situation has been improved, how they are, assisting you, how they are helping you?
For this, I'll say I'm very much thankful that we have very good staff support here inside the zoo. They are trained, they know how to do their work, they know how to maintain the zoo. During COVID times when everything was closed, we are continuously maintaining the regular feeding of the animals, cleanliness of the animals, health checkups, and all the things. Means the visitors were not there during these times, but zoo was functioning in it as a complete unit and continuous unit. Because we have the captive animals for them, the care is the utmost importance. Secondly, our staff is really good in doing all their jobs. If you come to visit the zoo, they will assist you in identifying of various animals. They also help you to understand the behavior of some of the animals with which they are doing work. So I'll say wherever I was before, the staff of the zoo is really good, and the work which they are doing is really appreciable. It is a 24/7 job and they are doing it perfectly.
Apart from the captive animals, the Assam State Zoo is known for the rich biodiversity of flora and fauna. So what are the things, one can see?
As I already told you that it was a part of a reserve forest. So definitely we have number of birds here, number of species of flora and fauna which is open, not the captive inside the zoo. I'll say it is one of the zoos which is having a lot of biodiversity of the flora also as compared to the fauna. Apart from the captives, we have a lot of the local birds which are found here. They are resident inside the zoo premises because of the green nature of the area. Secondly, the flora we are having, we have a lot of mother trees also. You can say mother trees means the trees which are good in their species and having a perfect shape and form so that we can collect seed from those trees. So I'll say Assam State Zoo is really rich in flora and fauna here, apart from the captives.
And finally, what message would you like to convey to our listeners?
I would like to request to all the listeners here. First, I want to thank them to listen me with patience. Secondly, I am requesting them it is really a tough COVID times, but we, Assam State Zoo Botanical Garden, welcomes you always to give you some precious moments of relax and to enjoy the nature in its best, along with maintaining all the COVID protocols.
Thank you, Ashwini ji. You gave us very good, important inputs on Assam State Zoo. We are sure that listeners of All India Radio certainly benefit and they do visit the beautiful place. Thank you again.
Thank you, Manasi.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
And now let us endeavor to know more about the special places that are nestled in the cozy corners of India's northeast. Today we are taking you to the beautiful Tripura state where the historical town of Udaipur is located.
Udaipur is a town in the Gomti district of Tripura. situated on the banks of the Gomti River, about 53 kilometers from Agartala. The city, dotted with many ruins of palaces and forts, was also known as Rangamati in ancient times. One can still see the ruins of palaces constructed during the Manukya dynasty in the vicinity of the banks of the Gomti River, which is the largest river in Tripura. Udaipur city, the third largest city of Tripura, is known for its natural beauty and splendor. Referred to as the Lake City, Udaipur was the capital of the Manukya kings till Maharaja Krishna Chandra Manikya Bahadur moved the capital to Agartala. The river Gomti flows through the middle of the town, providing resources to nourish the well-being of the citizens. Udaipur is dotted with many beautiful lakes, ancient temples, and other sites for the tourists to enjoy. The city famous for the well-known Tripura Sundari Temple, also known as Mahal Temple, is amongst the most revered shrines in India on account of being one of the 51 Shakti Peeths of the Hindu religion. The temple was constructed by Maharaja Dhanya Manikya Dev Burma in 1501. In 1501, on a small hill dedicated to goddess Kali, who is worshipped here in the form of Soroshi. During the festival of Diwali, a huge fair is organized where devotees from all over the country and also from neighboring country of Bangladesh come here to seek the blessings of the goddess and have a good time. The inner shrine resembles the shape of a tortoise's hump. On the eastern side of the temple lies the vast Kalyan Sagar lake, which is home to tortoises. Devotees offer prayers to the tortoises and feed them puffed rice and biscuits. Hence, the temple is also referred to as the Kurma Peeth, Kurma meaning tortoise. Vanaishwari Temple is another famous temple here. As mentioned, the town is also known as Lake City because of the beautiful lakes it contains. Some of them are Bijoy Sagar, Jagannath Digi, Amar Sagar and Kalyan Sagar. It also has a national library named Nazrul Granthagar after Qazi Nazrul Islam. Bijoy Sagar Lake is another famous and the biggest lake in Udaipur, which is 750 meters long. The lake is also known as Mahadev Digi and can be visited during any time of the year. The town is again known for the famous water play. The town is also known for the famous water palace Neer Mahal, built in the middle of the Rudra Sagar Lake in Udaipur. It is the only water palace in the eastern side of India. The palace was built by Maharaja Bir Bikram Kishore in the year 1938. This lake palace was used as a summer residence for the royal family. With 24 rooms, 2 wings and 2 grand staircases, the grandeur of this place encompasses traces of both Hindu and Mughal architecture. As a premier tourism site, Neer Mahal draws huge crowds, especially between October to February, when the migratory birds also visit this beautiful site. Moreover, the government is also stressing on the need for developing and raising the living standards of the people living in the surrounding areas of the palace. The town is also known for the Tepanya Eco Park. The park is spread over an area of 155 hectares, built in the year 1995 and located 5 kilometers from Udaipur. The gorgeous tree house inside is a huge hit among children and adults alike. The famous orchidarium houses around 200 varieties of orchids. The cactus house next door has 250 variants. Other than these, different flowers, trees, reptiles, monkeys and even birds can be seen around the forest reserve. The main charm is that it is built inside the Radha Kishorpur Reserve Sanctuary. The place is again famous for the Nazrul Granthagar National Library. It is named after the revered Bengali poet Qazi Nazrul Islam. The national poet of Bangladesh, he is also an acclaimed writer, musician and a revolutionary figure who stood up for the social injustice and political revolutions. The library was built during the reign of Manikya royal family in the year 1954. The majority of the work of Qazi Nazrul Islam is stored here. Apart from that, thousands of books of fiction as well as non-fiction can be read here. Students, scholars and any person wanting to gain the knowledge of pre-independence and the royalty of India can visit here. More than 75,000 books are present in this huge library. Udaipur has a lot of artificial lakes, bestowing it with the name Lake City. It is also a religious site and one of the most profitable and popular tourist destinations of Tripura. With Reena Nongmaitam, Suparna Seikya for Northeast Diary.
With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Goodbye.